Hello, everyone. My name is Phil Carskellen. You probably recognize me because we did some door canvassing earlier in the week. And I'm actually shooting this video specifically for an individual who reached out. However, I'm not going to mention who they are because I want to have this be something I'd share with the neighborhood as a whole. So it's going to be a really quick video on just a breakdown of your neighborhood because it's a special little gem and just how it compares to Happy Valley and what you can think of as far as determining values and things like that. So with that being said, let me jump in really quickly to little presentation I have. Okay, so first of all, I did a lot of research on your particular area. This is kind of where I was dialing in for the purpose of this. The first thing I want to point out, and it's my disclaimer because I do like numbers a lot, is that our sample sizes are a little bit smaller, but you'll find that they're pretty representative, you know, just, across when we look into different variables. And the first thing I want to say is not a lot of movement. So this really is a destination neighborhood. That just means people are moving in and they're not moving out anytime soon. So in the last year, you actually only had two properties that went up for sale. Okay. Now, if I go back a year before that, I'm going to show you some year over year data here. So stay tuned for that. Okay. Now, if we look at the prior year, so 2023 to 2024, you have a couple more properties, but not as much as we would see comparative to, relative to Happy Valley as a whole. Okay, so let me jump right into the numbers because I know that's probably what you guys are most interested in. This is a presentation I clicked or created. You probably have clicked on this link right here, which is how you're watching this video. Really quickly, a little bit about us. The reason why you know about us is because we knocked on a door. We canvassed everyone. Okay, so we're top 2% of all agents nationwide. We're a local concierge real estate company, and what that really means is that um, we're high touch, high customer service, and lower volume, meaning we'll do 15 to 20 transactions a year. And that's kind of our sweet spot. Okay. We don't want to do more. Okay. We're not a discount brokerage. We're not, doing high volumes and, volume based pricing and stuff like that. That's not how we do stuff. We really focus on the particular needs of our clients. And what are their particular goals and tailoring a response to them so that they can, maximize your investment, right? Like for most Americans, their primary residence is their number one source of wealth. Even when it comes into retirement stuff like that. So long and short of it is, we're almost a marketing company that also does real estate. Okay, at the end of the day, we will go that extra mile for our clients. We will put more eyeballs on a particular listing than anyone else out there that I'm aware of, and supply and demand. We will get more. Will maximize your investment return. We'll say that. So very quick, a little bit about me. This is my family. It's my wife. These are my two daughters. Both of them graduated last year. One from high school, one from university. I'm very proud of them. They're my why. So I like to share that and talk a little bit about it. This is what we've talked about already. I'm certified listing expert, certified real estate negotiator, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to read that. Let's get into what you're looking for. Okay, so when we talk about marketing, again, I'm not going to dwell on this. What I do want to point out is we've invested thousands of dollars when we market. Okay, what I've spent on this open house for this neighborhood is more than what most listing agents would marketing their own, listing. Okay. Again, this is not our listing. In the neighborhood, we're buyer specialists or neighborhood specialists, which we come in and we try to find buyers and also other sellers. Okay. So we've invested thousands of dollars into Zillow Showcase, which means you will get 80% more views just from this one aspect alone. Okay. Here's some numbers from Zillow on what that actually equates to: 2% more in your pocket. Going pending. I could tell you, looking at our personal numbers, we actually put thousands more eyeballs on a particular listing. Okay. So again, not going to read this. I'm going to skip through this and get into the meat and potatoes of this. So this is just the last year. Okay. So the last year is a section up here. Basically, I broke it out into price per square foot. But really, there was a smaller home that sold at 1,600, and then for the most part, most of the homes in this neighborhood are 3,000 square feet or above. So what I want to say is, for that home that was under 1,600 or was about 1,600 square feet, that's 348 a square foot. Happy Valley, as an average for that that size of home is 324. So you're almost 7% higher than what Happy Valley is as a whole. Now, if we look at the 3,000 square foot plus home, that's 283 a square foot. Okay. And there always will be a difference. Okay. So the smaller the home, typically the higher the price per square foot, just because intrinsically there's some value, just in having, land and foundation and walls and windows that's there. And then as you scale up, usually the price per square foot goes down. Okay. So this is not concerning at all. And if you compare it to Happy Valley as a whole, okay, so last year, so last 12 months, you're sold for 283 a square foot. Happy Valley as a whole is 248. That's a 14% difference. Or 50, yeah, it's almost 15%. That's huge, you guys. So that's actually really substantial. Yes. If we look at the prior year, again, your price per square foot, 278, 233. Again, 238 comparatively. Okay. And you have more homes, here than this lower price point. So again, that's an increase. And this one is honestly, it's a little bit less. And I don't have a total understanding of why that might be. And we need to look into that more. That's the bottom line of that. And the truth is, it doesn't really matter. 2023 was a wacky real estate year, right? What I would say is that you are trending up significantly from where you were last year. Okay. Now, when I dive into, all right, I'm not going to get into this guy, but when I dive into the homes, the other thing I want to point out, and this is just a random home that was sold a couple years ago. What I want to say is the thing that blew me away about the neighborhood is how well the homes are maintained. So by far, I've knocked on hundreds of doors this week. This was by far the nicest, well-maintained homes that I've seen anywhere. Okay. I also want everyone's super friendly too. So shout out to you guys for being friendly. The thing I will say is most of the homes are kind of what they were when they were built. And I don't mean that in a negative way. Often I'd be like, they look like original, right? Early 90s and stuff like that. But they've been so beautifully maintained for the era of the home that I don't think that's a negative at all. Okay. I think that's actually super duper positive. So as you're looking at these numbers, trying to say, hey, what might my property be worth? I would say the assumption after looking at all those listings is all of those are representative homes that have been well maintained. Okay. So I'd say pretty safely, if your home's well maintained in that area and it's over, 3,000 square feet, you're going to be looking at a 283 square foot number. Okay. So that's really nice to know. And if it's not, or it's unique, reach out to us and we'll either way reach out to us. So we can do a special, comparative market analysis for your particular home. Because the other thing, a caveat is these are, really simplified metrics, right? Price per square foot doesn't take into effect that maybe you have updated your bathroom, right? Or you've, replaced certain elements of it. Okay. That's going to fluctuate the price even further, which is really why you want to, work with a real estate professional to really maximize or really to sort out what your actual, value is of a home. So you guys, I shot this pretty quickly because I'm actually heading out to the open house right now, but I wanted to have this because I think people will be asking lots of questions about it. So again, most well-maintained neighborhood I've been in all weekend or all week and in a long time and super friendly people. So hope to see you guys today. And if you have any questions, please reach out. Again, we're a small boutique company. I know it's super corny, but I do believe that real estate's based on relationships, and this is really the first step in that. So have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.